So you're getting a ton of views on your eBay listings, or maybe just a specific listing, but the item just isn't selling. What's going on, everybody? My name's Steve Raiken, and this channel is dedicated to helping people to make more money online. And today we're gonna be covering what to do when you have an eBay item or a bunch of listings in your eBay store that are getting a ton of views, but they're just not selling. So I'm actually gonna share with you 6 reasons why you're getting a ton of views and why they might not be selling, and 6 things that you can start to dive into and look into that can maybe help your situation. So with that being said, if you're excited for this video, do me a big favor and smash that like button, and let's get into it. So the number one reason why you're probably getting a ton of views on your listing, but it's just not selling, is because you priced the item too high. If you're a brand new seller, you need to get acquainted with looking through the sold listings on eBay. The sold listings will show you and share with you exactly how much, an item is selling for. So for example, maybe you're looking up a specific bracelet or something. Maybe it's made by Guess and it's a Guess Brown bracelet, and maybe it's from 2009. You look it up, you find that specific item, and you notice that this one sold for 27, this one sold for 31, this one sold for 35, this one sold for 26. Usually there's a range, and it could depend upon, the seasonality, how high quality the pictures were, if the seller had great feedback, or, a whole bunch of different reasons. But usually it's gonna be within a range. If you find out the range is between like 26 and 31 and you list it up at 55, you still might be able to get the sale depending on supply and demand, right? So if there's a ton of demand and only a couple items listed, the price is gonna go up. But if there's other sellers that are selling it for 26, 29, 32, maybe you just have really great keywords and you took awesome pictures and everyone's interested in your item, and but they're just not buying. So you've gotta reassess the price of your item, go through the sold listings, go through the completed listings to get a feel for how often items are selling, how often they're not selling, the ones that are not selling, where are they priced at. You can start to dissect the pictures, the listings, to get a feel for what's working and what's not working. But typically number one is gonna be a pricing issue. Number two, and this is a big reason why you'll get a ton of views on a hot selling item, but people just aren't buying it, is because your shipping time is too long. Maybe the shipping service that you're offering is like 5 to 7 days. Right? Or maybe you're only offering first class and people want to buy it priority because they want it now. Shipping time is so important. I try to ship via priority as much as possible. Now, if the item is 16 ounces or less, I'm going to offer first class. But you could also keep the doors open to multiple shipping methods so people can get it quickly. Also, your handling time as well. If you're offering, 2-3 day handling time, they're not going to know exactly when they're going to get the item. And maybe for one reason or another, there's something trending right now, or there's an event coming up, or it's a birthday, or there's something going on in this person's life or in current events, and people need it now. So you're getting a ton of people interested, but maybe the price is too high, or the shipping and handling time is just too long. So you might want to reassess that as well in your store. Number 3, a big reason why, and this has happened to me multiple times, why I have an item that's getting a ton of views. Man, people are checking it out, and it's gonna sell, but it just isn't selling. Like 3 days go by, 5 days go by, it's got like 1,000 views, and you're like, what the heck is going on? It's because you have made a mistake in your listing. Maybe you put the wrong brand name in the title, or maybe your item specifics are all funky, or maybe you put the description for the previous item in this one because you copied and pasted it but forgot to pull out the old text. I don't know. Maybe there's a mistake that you made. So you want to go through, especially if it's like a high dollar item, and go through. Maybe you forgot to add all the pictures and only has one picture, right? Maybe you put like a ridiculous measurement. Maybe it's some like rare vintage Ralph Lauren polo sweater from like the 90s, and you've got the chest measurement at like 80, and they're like, what the heck, right? And maybe you meant to put like 28 or something. So, go through and, make sure that there's no obvious blatant mistakes in your listing. If it's something really hot, people will send you a message. So check your inbox as well. Maybe you're getting a bunch of messages and people are saying, are you sure? Is that the chest measurement? Is that really the chest measurement? Like, does it really not have that? So check your messages and make sure that there's no like obvious issues. Number 4 is missing crucial information. If you're selling something that's rare, something that's collectible, maybe something that's certified to be authentic, maybe you forgot to put, the picture of the certificate showing it's, authentic or whatnot. Or maybe you forgot to put in a picture with the most rare part of the clothing item. Maybe there's this really rare patch that's supposed to be on this item, or maybe there's supposed to be this leather accent over the elbows of this rare vintage Pendleton or CC Filson clothing item. These are great brands to deal with, by the way. But maybe you're missing some crucial information or you forgot to put in a description. This can kind of fall under like a mistake in the listing, but sometimes there's no mistakes. You just forgot to put the one obvious thing that everybody wants to know about this item, right? Like maybe the year, or if it's authentic, or the material, something like that. Again, a lot of times if it's that hot and you're getting that many views, you'll find hints and clues in your inbox. People will send you a message, but be on the lookout for that. The 5th reason why you might be getting a lot of heat on your item, but it's just not selling, is because you have bad feedback. Feedback is so important. You want to make sure that you have as close as 100% positive feedback as you possibly can. Now, the more you sell and the more you list, when you do get a negative or a neutral, it's not going to hit you as hard, like in terms of the overall percentage. Maybe you'll drop from 100 down to 99.7%. One of my eBay stores, I have over 3,000 feedback. So if I get a negative feedback, it doesn't make like a huge dent. But if you're brand new and you've only been selling for a couple months and maybe you only have 200 feedback, getting a negative could drop you down to like 97% or 95.4, depending on how many listings you have. And it starts to look a little weird and funky. Now they're not trusting you. And if you're selling like a really high dollar item that's $500, $1,000 plus, they're gonna start to look a little deeper into your feedback. And if they see that there's been issues in the past and people are pissed off and you got some really nasty comments, you really wanna try to take care of these beforehand, because it is gonna affect your sales. It's gonna affect your conversions to an extent. So just make sure to handle these the best you possibly can. And number 6, the 6th reason why you might be getting a ton of views, a ton of heat on your listing, but it's just not selling and you're freaking out and you're like, what the heck is going on? I don't get it. I'm doing everything right. My pictures are good. My shipping time is on point. There's no mistakes in the listing. I provided all the pictures possible. I have great feedback. Like, what the heck is going on? Maybe you have a bad return policy. That could be it as well. So take a look at your policies. Maybe you offer no returns or no refunds or a ridiculous restocking fee, and it's making people a little uncomfortable because maybe it's an item that does have a chance of being returned and they don't want to be stuck with it if something goes wrong. Now, if somebody really wants to return an item or get their money back, they can open up a PayPal case, and typically eBay and PayPal is gonna side with the buyer over the seller, but not all buyers know this. So your policies might be making them very, very uncomfortable. So just to recap real quick, I've got all my handy dandy list over here. Number 1, make sure your items aren't priced too high. This could be causing people to look at your items but not buy. A good solution to this is adding a best offer, right? Add a best offer to your listing, and you can get people interested in making offers. Your shipping time is too long. You've got a mistake in your listing it's just freaking people out. Maybe you're missing a real crucial piece of information that people are curious about, and maybe they're not even wasting their time messaging you about it because there's other people selling it. Right? If there's a lot of competition, people will just skip over you. Maybe your first picture is really bad and it's, I don't know, turning people off. That wouldn't make sense because people are actually clicking into it. So forget that one. But maybe there's an issue with your picture or pictures or wrong pictures. Bad feedback, a bad return policy, too long of a shipping time, handling time. These are all things that could be causing people to show interest, but then they're bailing last minute. So if you guys found value in this video, do me a big favor and smash that like button. Appreciate you guys. If you guys want to start an eBay business, there's so much content that I put on my YouTube channel, free videos, also links down in the description to start your eBay business and all the tools and supplies that I use. So with that being said, keep on picking and making that money, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.